Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We have been celebrating Gaur Purnima, but it's obviously very wonderful to know that how the first Gaur Purnima happened. First ever Gaur Purnima, I should say. First ever Gaur Purnima that took place onto this planet. Whenever we go back and trace the history, that how it all started, that gives a lot of enthusiasm, that gives a lot of inspiration. Oh, this is how a festival should be celebrated. And when we hear all this, then naturally we feel very grateful to all those personalities who initiated this entire festival. The three trio, the famous trio of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya and Shyamanand Pandit. These three were very happy in Vrindavan, nicely doing their bhajan under the guidance of Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami was the Shiksha Guru of these three, and these three were initiated by other great personalities in different parts. And one day, Jiva Goswami, he decided to send these three out of Vrindavan for preaching. Now these three were having no clue that someday we will leave Vrindavan. Sometimes our base devotees say, that I had no clue that one day I'll leave the base. They had no clue. They were all happy. They were all having wonderful time. All three of them. Sometime at the foot of Govardhan, sometime near Radhakund, sometimes in Kamyavan, sometime near Bandiravan. They were having nice time. But then mission needs something else. And all those three were sent by Jiva Goswami. And it was a big festival. It was a big festival that was held to send these three people out of Vrindavan. Books were loaded on the cart. And all these three great personalities, they were given farewell by all the great Vaishnavas, and everyone knew these three are not going to come back again. At least one of them, I know that he came back once to meet his guru, but the other two, never. And those three were also knowing, this is the last time we are seeing Vrindavan. Because at that time, Vrindavan is not taking a flight ticket and just flying there and just going. It's all about walking. And these three were supposed to walk to Gauda Desh and Utkal Desh, that is Bengal and Orissa. Now there is no question of walking back. Just imagine you have to walk from here to there for a yatra. You all will say, Prabhuji, ab jaake aiye. Pray for us. It's not easy, no? It's not easy. So these three were sent, and these three amazing preachers went to different places. They distributed books. And book distribution also not an easy task, because they have to copy the only manuscript that they have to make a copy of it and distribute. And that's what they were doing. So all three of them went to different directions. And Narottam Das Thakur, this great personality who left his hometown, that is Kheturi Gram. His father, Krishnananda Maharaj, was a Maharaj, great king. He left his house. He ran away from the house. I should use this word. He ran away from the house. His father sent 10 men. Go and get him. But he convinced those 10 men also that I am on a mission. I have to go. And those 10 people left him. Can you go? Hare Krishna. And that's how Narottam Das Thakur left his house. And after many years, he returned. And everyone in Kheturi Gram got to know that our Narottam is coming back. Our Naru is coming back. And he was on the other side of Padma river. And these devotees were on this side, the residents of Kheturi Gram. Some places it is given that parents were present at that time, and some biographies say that they disappeared. But then in both the cases, in either of the cases, a personality called Santosh Datta, he was the king of the place. So Santosh Datta is the cousin brother of Narottam Das Thakur. So father's name of Narottam Das Thakur is Krishnananda Maharaj. And Krishnananda Maharaj had a brother and his name was Purushottam Datta. And Purushottam Datta's son is Santosh Datta. So Santosh Datta and other relatives came, and the residents of Kheturi Gram, they came, and from far they could see Narottam has come. And everyone knew that he has taken renounced order of life. So everyone, as soon as they saw him, they started paying obeisance. And then Narottam came finally on this side of the river where everyone was standing. And as soon as he got down, people started paying obeisances. Some of them were embracing. And everyone, they were asking, now you'll not leave, right? And Narottam said, no, I'll be here. This will be my base of preaching now. So in this way, Narottam Das Thakur was received in Kheturi Gram. And he started being there, preaching, etc., etc. One day, Narottam Das Thakur got a letter from Sri Vrindavan Dham. Now, it was a very big thing to get a letter from Vrindavan. It's like Prabhupada's time, where all the communications are happening by letter. And as soon as a letter comes to a temple, all the devotees, whatever 10, 15 number that was there, all of them will come. And one devotee will read out loud. And that used to be a big thing. Oh, letter from Swamiji, letter from Prabhupada has come. And here also we see that when the letter came from Vrindavan, and it was for Narottam, Narottam was in ecstasy. And when he got to know that it is from his spiritual master Lokanath Goswami, he went into more ecstasy. And then he opened the letter and he read the letter. And the letter said that I want you to preach about deity worship. Establish deity worship. Teach people how to do deity worship. For that, you need to establish a temple. And he also, in some places it is given, he also said, establish 5 deities of Krishna and 1 deity of Gauranga. And when Narottam Das, he read that, he was already having this desire that he should worship deities. And now, he got that instruction, now it's bona fide. And he just started planning. His plan is very nice. He started planning how to install deities. But before that, let me tell you all a very, very important aspect of the entire history. See, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went back to the spiritual abode, at that time, all the associates who were there, they were not able to bear the separation. In fact, when Raghunath Das Goswami heard that, he decided that I'll drown myself in Radhakund. There were other devotees, they wanted to jump from the huge mountains and commit suicide. There were other devotees, they wanted to drown in rivers. But they all were holding their breath because that's not a proper way to leave the body. And they were completely morose. It was almost like dead bodies. No life, no energy, nothing. All the time in the pangs of separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the time. How will we Baddha Jivas know what do we mean by pangs of separation? We will not understand. The ones who have spent time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looking at this beautiful dance, going around with Lord Chaitanya for preaching, going around with him for yatras, only they can comprehend what it means to get away from Lord Chaitanya. They were all dead bodies. They were not ready to travel anywhere. They were just there at their place, all the time feeling that separation, crying in that agony, feeling that intense pain of Vipralambha. That was the situation. And in this situation, there were many problems also that came into picture. As soon as a great personality in the spiritual moment, when he leaves, naturally a lot of problems come. And one of the problems that came was groupism that started. It's not something that is just there now. It was there. It's in parampara. That also is in parampara. So groupism started. And many groups were not bona fide also. Sarjapur camp started. People started recruiting other people into their camp. And there were a lot of misconceptions about Advaitacharya, Nityananda Prabhu, especially Nityananda Prabhu's preaching style that he used to do. People were having a lot of misconceptions about that. And there was a lot of confusion in teachings of 6 Goswamis also. You can imagine the entire situation. Such a pathetic situation it was. Such a pathetic situation. Therefore, it's a very, very important thing to note that somehow by mistakenly we took birth in the right time, when things are sorted out. Just imagine if you would have taken birth after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves the body. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes back, come back to Godhead. The Supreme Personality cannot leave the body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he merged into the deity of Tota Gopinath. Now we were not like Narutta, or suppose we would have taken birth also at that time. We would not be like Narottam Das Thakur, crying and going around and thrashing onto the stone or trying to enter the fire or something like nothing. He'll be even at that time searching for sense gratification. But ease of accessing bhakti is something that has happened now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Very easy. It's there everywhere. Devotees are there everywhere. You have to just go and talk to them, and the rest they will do. They will know what to do. They will do the needful. See, after that span also, there were many dark phases that came into picture. So after this phase came the phase of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and that time also there was a dark phase where there were so many Sahajiyas. After that again a dark phase came. When that dark phase came, when Srila Prabhupada left, at that time when iskcon went through that dip, that was a huge chaos. It was a huge mess that was there. And many devotees left iskcon at that time. Many devotees. Now just imagine, we are so fortunate, but somehow by mistakenly we have taken birth at this time and we have come in association of devotees to practice bhakti. Aho bhagya, aho bhagya. The only thing is one has to realize the bhagya. That's very important. Anyways, coming back to the situation, it was a dark phase that was going on. And in that dark phase, they were the preachers. Jiva Goswami was there, and these 3 were there, and there were other few senior devotees who were present. But what to do? All of them, they were submerged in an ocean of agony, of separation from Lord Chaitanya. So Narottam Das Thakur, he started thinking, how great it will be if all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come at one place. How great this will be. He also started thinking that it has been several decades that Lord has disappeared from this place and we have not celebrated his appearance day. And he also started having this thought that my Guru Maharaj has given me the instruction to establish a temple and install deities. Why not utilize this opportunity of establishing the temple, installing the deities as a celebration of Lord's appearance? And then he decided that yes, now that day will be the day of Purnima in the month of Falgun, and that is Gaura Purnima. He decided the date. And he started thinking, if everyone comes together, whatever groups are there, if everyone comes together, and if they glorify the Lord, dance together, chant the holy names, naturally the entire family of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be united. This is called as missionary thought process. Can you imagine his thought process? What is he thinking about? He's thinking that how can the entire thing be set right? How can everyone come together again, become that one family? See, missionaries are the ones who always think about the mission. And I'm not talking about those people who always think about the mission and not do any sadhana. Okay. I'm talking about the mission of the Lord. But when someone is intense in the mission, so at that time he's also intense in his own sadhana. Because only when someone has intense sadhana, deep and absorbed in sadhana, that person can think about the mission properly and do something for the mission. And here we see Narottam Das Thakur, all the time absorbed in thinking about the Lord. And always engaged in devotional service, always chanting the holy names. And that person is thinking about the mission. Now just imagine how powerful this is. Therefore, this is a very, very important point to note that a missionary always thinks about the mission. And to think about the mission, one has to be intense in his own personal absorption in Krishna consciousness. Those people who just think about the mission and no absorption, they leave the mission very soon. Then other people have to think about him as a mission to get him back. Therefore, it's very, very important that we understand the mission and the absorption, both of them. And here he started thinking. The next day, when he got this thought, when he read that letter, all that contemplation started. Next day he went to the king of that place, and his name was Santosh Datta. So he went to Santosh Datta, King Santosh, and he told the king that this is what is my desire. I want to build a huge temple and establish 6 deities there. And I want to involve and invite all the Vaishnavas, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas from all around India. What do you say about this? And Santosh was in ecstasy. Because by this time, Santosh had already become the disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. Can you imagine what sort of acharyas we had? They would initiate their family members. And here to make our family members chant one round becomes so difficult. They come to preach us. That why you're putting tilak like this, why dhoti kurta, why this chanting, I'm already doing this, that, etc., etc. Look at our acharya. They initiate their family members, even Prabhupada disciples. They would go back to their villages, initiate their relatives, their teachers, their principal, etc., etc. How glorious these personalities are. And when it comes to us, what to do? Therefore, anytime, when we have this thought that I'm a great devotee, just do a video call with your family members. मैंने बहुत सारे लोग को devotees बनाया. नहीं घर पे बात दे, घर पे देखो आप पहले घर पे. Anyways, Narottam Das Thakur initiated Santosh, the king of the place. And the king was very happy and he said, I will do it. I'll build a magnificent temple and I'll do all the necessary arrangements to host thousands of Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees. Now Narottam Das Thakur, he started thinking, okay, so now we have got some person who want to give finance. But who is going to manage? I cannot manage. And my friend will manage. If he comes, yes, everything will manifest. And he started thinking about Srinivas Acharya. So Srinivas Acharya, he was going around preaching and all that. So Narottam Das Thakur, he wrote a letter to Srinivas Acharya. That this is what is my thought process. I want all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to come together and we should have a big festival on the day of the appearance of Gauranga. But there was no reply to the letter. Some person came from Jajigram, the place where Srinivas Acharya would be staying. And Narottam Das Thakur was very happy. Maybe a reply has come for my letter. But that was not the case. But when he was talking to that devotee, the 2 other devotees came and they had the reply to the letter. And at that time, Srinivas Acharya, he told that I am nearby to Kheturi Gram in a place called Buduri. You please come and meet me there. Srinivas Acharya, he had a very illustrious disciple and his name was Ramachandra Kaviraj. You might have heard, no? Narottam Das, Namachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. So this Ramachandra Kaviraj. So when he was telling that I am there in this place, he also told on whose place. So Ramachandra Kaviraj's brother Govinda Kaviraj was staying there in Buduri Gram. And as soon as Narottam Das Thakur got to know that my friend Srinivas is here, he was a superior also and friend also, that he is here. The next day he started with his disciples. He started with his disciples and they went to that place. Now, this meeting is very intense. When Narottam Das Thakur, he came into that place, Srinivas Acharya was sitting with so many devotees there and speaking Krishna Katha. And Srinivas Acharya, he saw Narottam, Narottam saw Srinivas, and both of them, they came together to meet. And Narottam at that time, he bowed down to touch his feet. And Srinivas lifted him and gave him a tight embrace. And what do you think other devotees did there? Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And the talk began, intense talk. Both of them, they started sharing. याद है वृंदावन में क्या किए थे हम लोग? गोवर्धन के वहाँ, राधा कुंड में, जमुना में, and they all started discussing how blissful those days were. And at that time, Srinivas said, let me share that I'm married now and my base is in Jajigram. And recently, I went to Vrindavan. Oh, what an experience that was. Narottam, I should tell you. And Narottam was already feeling that separation from Vrindavan, and now he's getting to hear about Vrindavan and all the residents of Vrindavan. So Srinivas Acharya started speaking about Jiva Goswami. He started speaking about other Vaishnavas. He spoke about Lokanath Goswami, the disciple or the guru of Narottam Das Thakur. And he also made a statement that everyone remembers you, Narottam. They were asking about you. And Narottam was in ecstasy, hearing about Vrindavan. This is called madness for Vrindavan. I don't know when we will get. But without this madness, one cannot go back home, back to Godhead, to Goloka Vrindavan. So all these devotees, they're all mad for Vrindavan. Mad for that place. Don't know what is there in that place. I'm not able to understand much with my limited intelligence. But something these devotees see there, they get attached to that place to such an extent that they feel so much of separation. And as soon as they hear about Vrindavan, they get into ecstasy. And here is an example of Narottam Das Thakur. And at that time, when all this discussion was going on, one person was looking at Narottam. And his name was Ramachandra Kaviraj. All the time he was gazing at Narottam. And when he was looking at Narottam, so our Srinivas Acharya, he introduced, he is my foremost disciple and his name is Ramachandra. And when we went to Vrindavan, there the devotees saw his wonderful qualities and gave him the title Kaviraj. And Narottam was also looking at him, and both of them, just by their glance, exchange of their glances, they became very close to each other. And there began a serious discussion. Narottam Das Thakur, he told Srinivas Acharya that, see, this is what I'm planning. What do you say? On the day of appearance of Gauranga, let's invite all the devotees from all over Gaura and Utkal Desh, all over India. From Vrindavan also we'll invite. Let's invite all of them and let's have a grand festival. Now Srinivas, being a very good manager, in fact, when they left from Vrindavan, all three, when farewell was given, at that time Jiva Goswami told Srinivas, Narottam, Shyamananda, three of you will be led by Srinivas. He is very good at managerial skills. So here Narottam, he said, no, that yes, this is what we are planning. But this great manager, he said, but that will require so much of planning. That will need so much of arrangement. And Narottam, I tried my best to arrange festivals, but then these devotees are there in different places, feeling separation from Gauranga. They're not able to come out of their house. Forget about traveling to Kheturi. And at that time, Narottam said, see, no worries about finance. King is going to finance. He's doing all the arrangements, all the logistics he's taking care. But I am sure if you are there, Srinivas Acharya, if you are there, everything will fall in place. When all this discussion was happening, so Srinivas said, okay, chalo, let's sit and make a list of devotees whom to invite. It's such an ecstatic thing. Can you imagine? They're sitting and making a list of those senior devotees at that time. And they started jotting different names. And the first name that they penned it down on the paper was Janava Mata. Janava Mata is the consort of Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu went back with Gauranga. But Janava Mata was here and she was that great personality who was leading the entire Gaudiya Vaishnavas at that time. A lady was leading. Can you imagine that? Janava Ma. Second name that they wrote down was Achyutananda, son of Advaita Acharya from Shantipur. Another name, two names they wrote, Shripati and Srinidhi. Who are they? Huh? Yes, Srivas Thakur's brothers, Srinidhi and Shripati. And they wrote another name, and his name was Sri Hriday Chaitanya. From which place he is? Ambika Kalna. He's from Ambika Kalna. Yes. And there's another personality called Raghunandan Thakur from Srikhanda. What is speciality of Raghunandan? His father, when he was small, his father told him, I'm going out, you do the bhoga offering. And some laddu was given to him by his mother. He goes there and then he keeps there, small boy. Raghu at that time. He keeps that and then cow away. And then there's no response from the other side. And he started crying. He started crying and beating the ground, saying, when my father offers you eat, when I'm offering you knowledge, you have to eat. And he started crying and crying and crying. And that innocent baby or innocent boy, when he started crying, literally the Lord had to put his hand out and then take and eat. And at that time, Raghu was very happy. And then he took the empty plate to his mother. And she's asking, where is Prasad? And he's like, Lord ate everything. And now his father also came. That, get me some Prasad, I'm very hungry. And she said, that ask your son, where is Prasad? Looks like he's eaten all the laddus. And then again it was given to him that go and offer, because they wanted to check, khud ne khaya ki Bhagwan ne khaya. And again Raghunandan started doing the same thing. And his father was hiding and saying, who is this person? What is going to happen? And again, Lord put his hand and ate, and this personality fainted was looking at the scene. My son is such a great devotee. He is Raghunandan. We can go on speaking. Some other day we'll speak about Raghunandan Thakur. So he was invited, or his name was put. And there, the third person in the trio, Shyamanand Prabhu. So to him also a letter was sent, or his name was jotted down. Now there's a big list, many more devotees were listed in this. And they went off to sleep on that day. And in the dream of Srinivas Acharya, something divine happened. Lord Chaitanya appeared in the dream of Srinivas and he said, I want this festival to happen. It's my desire. And when Srinivas got up, he was in ecstasy. He said, Narottam, we have to do this festival. Lord wants it. And he said, now the festival will be successful. Let's go ahead and begin. And immediately the next day, they had written an invitation. This invitation speciality is, it was a Sanskrit poetry. Good, we didn't get it. हमें समझ ही नहीं आता उसका head and tail. No word to word meaning, no translation. So it was sent to all those devotees and all these Gaudiya Vaishnavas. In fact, in our entire parampara, all the devotees, they were all Sanskrit scholars. Scholars in Bengali. They're all scholars in Shastra. And such a unique invitation was sent to everyone. And at that time, the invitation was sent through people. There were 15, 20 people who were sent around the entire country. And they were going and inviting all the devotees. And a few months left. And the invitations are going everywhere. So Srinivas told Narottam that I will join you. But you can go now. And you can begin the entire arrangement. And you need not go alone. You can take Ramchandra Kaviraj also. Ramchandra was very happy. Narottam was very happy. They both started. See, in this, one thing which we have to understand is that when it comes to exalted souls, Lord personally instructs them what they have to do. And it's very natural for them to understand what is the right thing and they do it. But when it comes to us, we will not get Lord in our dream and, okay, do this tomorrow, do this day after tomorrow. No. So for them, Lord is giving direct instructions, and for us, we get instructions through the parampara. That is through spiritual master. Sometimes devotees get into another level of bhakti, illusory. And they think that, oh, anyways, Lord is inspiring me. I'm getting this thought and that thought. Anytime we get any realization, or we feel it's a realization, we should go and cross-check with our superiors. Very important. Is this in line with Shastra or not? Because many times this will happen. That we are hearing some class and some nice realization comes and then, and we are in ecstasy. Oh, Lord has given this realization. And you go to your superior and you tell Prabhuji, this is what I got. Phaltu. कुछ भी शास्त्र के विरुद्ध ही सोचेगा हमेशा. Again Shastra. So it's very important to cross-check. And I have seen my own superiors. They cross-check with their superiors, with some sannyasis, that this is what is my realization. Is this in line with Shastra? Is my mood correct? See, with time, as we grow in bhakti, what matters is mood. And it's very important to cross-check with the mood, because there's always a chance of getting into two extreme paths. One is becoming a Sahajya or becoming a Mayavadi. Either we get into that bhav of, I'm on a different platform and Lord is my lover and this and that. or we'll get into another angle altogether. There is no form of the Lord. Or I am God, with that mode. Therefore, one has to be very careful. What is the mood that we have got? And we have to cross-check. Is this mood proper? Therefore, here we see Srinivas Acharya and all the other devotees also. They would get personally, Lord would come and tell them what they're supposed to do. And here Narottam and Ramchandra Kaviraj, they started for their place. That is Keturigram. Now this entire festival is such a great festival that many months before the preparation has started. For us, we begin one day before, on same day, maybe morning time, go get flowers, decorate and all that. For them, many months before, oh, Gaur Purnima, Gaur Purnima, Gaur Purnima. And everyone in Keturigram was ecstatic, oh, Gaur Purnima. The great festival that's going to happen in Keturigram. Everyone was very happy. And here, Narottam and Ramachandra Kaviraj, when they started walking, they started seeing the various different arrangements that those were happening. The king, Santosh, Datta, he had already started constructing the huge temple. And already two things were already done. One is the storehouse where all the different items will be stored, and a huge kirtan hall for doing kirtan. That was already done. And the rest of the temple was getting ready. And now since so many thousands of devotees are going to come, there were guest houses, those are getting built. There were many guest houses getting constructed at that time. And Narottam was glancing at all that and was very happy. Very less time is left, only few months, and everything has to be done by that time. And then they saw that in the sun, there were clay mridangas kept for drying. Fresh mridangas getting ready for that Maha Sankirtan that is going to happen on the day of Gaur Purnima after a few months. There were glittering kartals which were kept. And like this, the entire preparation was going on. Then he went to a place to check if the deities are ready. 5 deities of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, and 1 deity of Gauranga. Now see, when it comes to these great souls, they know how Lord looks. Tattvadarshi, they have seen the truth. Many times when devotees, they would go to Srila Prabhupada with a painting, they'll show, Prabhupada, is this okay? And Prabhupada will give corrections to them. No, like this, the eye should be like this, nose should be like this, and then the Lord should be like this should be the form, and etc. etc. And if someone asks, Prabhupada, how do you know this? I know. So from Shastra they know, and they know it very well by Sakshat Darshan as well. Once Jadurani Mataji, she made a painting of Radha and Krishna. So Krishna was there with the flute, and Srimati Radharani was having garland in the hand, and that garland, instead of showing it towards Krishna, it was towards the other side. And Srila Prabhupada saw that, and then Srila Prabhupada commented saying, looks like Radharani has got another boyfriend. Jadurani heard that, Mataji heard that, and she was completely devastated. Oh, I've done something like this? And that moroseness could be immediately seen on her face, and Srila Prabhupada saw that. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, looks like Radharani is looking at, who is that devotee who made this beautiful painting? This garland is for you. And then Jadurani Mataji was back, with full smiling face. Prabhupada knows very well how to pull, how to push. And here, we see that how Narottam, and in fact, talking about Prabhupada, for our Vrindavan temple, Radha Shyam Sundar deity, Prabhupada was sitting on the asana, and then he was telling how the deity should be carved. And when it comes to Radharani's pose, how she should be standing, he got up personally, and he stood in a particular pose, and he showed that this is how I want. In a certain dancing pose she is in. These are our acharyas. And Narottam was very particular about the face of the Lord, the form of the Lord, and everything. So he sanctioned the 5 Krishna deities and Radharani deities. But when it comes to Gauranga, again and again he was giving feedback. No, this is not proper. No, that is not proper. And those people who were carving the deity, they were puzzled what to do, because they're not able to carve properly. Sometimes the face was not proper, sometimes the form was not proper. Narottam was not happy. And one night when Narottam was sleeping, resting, he got a dream. Again, Lord comes to the dream. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the dream, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Narottam, this carving will not be successful. So don't endeavor for that. Now Narottam was like, then where will he get the deity from? And Lord said that my golden form is hidden in so and so place. Go and get that deity. And now Narottam, very, very meticulous when it comes to doing service. He was doing all these different things. At the same time, he was writing verses which he was supposed to chant and sing on the day of Gaura Purnima. And then he will go and train 2-3 devotees who are supposed to be in his kirtan team. The names were Gokul Das and Devi Das. They were supposed to play Mridanga, Kartal and other instruments for Narottam Das Thakur on the day. So training was happening of kirtan. Not like ours, mic ko ek pakdega, Kartal, Mridanga and this and that. No, it's all planned. The tunes are planned, and Narottam Das Thakur wanted to offer the best of the best tune. The most extraordinary tune he wanted to offer on that day. And obviously Narottam Das Thakur singing, the description says, very, very ecstatic, and the sound or the voice is very, very sweet. Filled with love and devotion for Gauranga. All this practice and other things were going on, only this was pending, that is deity. So Narottam Das Thakur, when he got this dream, he decided, chalo, we have got some clue, now let's go. Without thinking twice, let's follow the instruction of the Lord. In the dream, Lord told one name, and that name was Vipradas. And Lord told him very clearly that my form, which is made up of solid gold, is there in a granary where the grains are stored in the house of a person called Vipradas. Now Narottam does not know who this person is. He started asking various people around, Vipradas, Vipradas. People are asking, why you want this person? No, just like that. He is not revealing that what happened or why he wants. He's going around and asking. And now since Narottam Das Thakur Mahashay is going around and asking about Vipradas, the residents started thinking, kuch to hoga. And they also started following Narottam Das to see what is that? What is that, this person? Why is he searching for this person? And then he finally came because he got to know where this person stays. He went there and Vipradas was very happy. Oh, such a great sadhu, such a famous sadhu has come to my home. He paid dandavats, he gave him a place to sit. And at that time, he asked Narottam Das Thakur, what can I do for you? And Narottam said, just allow me to enter your storehouse. And he said, why you want to go to storehouse? Tell me what you want. I'll get it out for you. And the others started thinking, maybe for that festival, rice shortage is there maybe or something like that. And King Santosh is thinking, no, everything is arranged. And here Narottam said, see, I don't want rice. I just want to enter your storehouse. Why? I just want to enter your storehouse. And he's not telling. And at that time, Vipradas, he said, see, that particular storehouse is infested with snakes, poisonous snakes. And I've kept it locked. Anyone who goes near that door, hissing sound starts inside. There are a lot of snakes, poisonous snakes. Therefore, I've locked it. In fact, I'm a merchant and I want those fine rice grains which are there inside in stock to be sold, but I'm not able to go inside. And Narottam is like, I want to go there. And Vipradas is, no, I cannot allow you. If something happens to you, what will happen? He said, nothing will happen to me. Snakes are there inside. That's okay. And when all the discussion was happening, others were talking, why Narottam wants to go there? And here Vipradas is talking to others that, no, we shouldn't send him, etc. When all the discussion was happening, Narottam quietly, he went and said, open the door. He entered inside. And everyone was stunned. Everyone was stunned. They were just able to see that dark rectangle. There's a door which is open. And Narottam was inside and all of them, they were anticipating that now there'll be shouts of, help me, help me, help me. Vipradas had tried his best to get snake charmers to get the snakes out. But he was unsuccessful. There was no snake charmer who was able to charm any of the snakes to get them out. In fact, they were scared and they would run away from that place. And Narottam entered that place. And inside when Narottam went, He told all the snakes, get out of this place. I'm on a mission. And all the snakes came out. Can you imagine our acharyas? They are not ordinary. They are all next level. You all get out, I am on a mission. And all snakes slithered away outside. And everyone were dumbfolded to look at that. All the snakes are out. But they were not going inside. Just peeping in and saying, what is this Narottam doing? And Narottam Das Thakur, he was putting his hands in each of that grains. And he was trying to search something. And everyone was like, what is he searching for? And finally he got something and he removed that. And it was the beautiful golden deity of Gauranga. It's all smeared with the dust of the grains. And Narottam was removing all that. And people are able to see that something is removed. And then when Narottam got the beautiful deity of Gauranga out, everyone was just shouting loudly, Jai Gauranga, Jai Gauranga, Jai Gauranga. They're all able to see Gaur Hari's beautiful form. And Narottam was ecstatic. And this is how he wanted the deity to be. And now he has the deity. Everything is set. 5 Radha Krishna deities are ready. Gauranga deity is also ready. Ready-made already. Some places it is said that even Vishnu Priya's deity was there. In other places it is said, no, it's only Gauranga deity. But anyways, Gauranga's deity was there. Then he took that deity, and the description says that deity is 5 kg pure gold. Even now it is there. It was worshipped in the lineage of Narottam Das Thakur's foremost disciple, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. It is there in that lineage and people are worshipping. Our sannyasis have visited that place and they talk about the deity also in their classes. Someday we should also go. 5 hours journey from Mayapur. Someday we can go and take darshan of this beautiful self-manifested deity. Then he went and then he kept the deity, with other deities. And he went on to other places to see if everything is set. This is called as doing service very meticulously. This is the quality of a very elevated soul or a devotee who is advancing on the path of bhakti. Because they'll know very well that this service is meant for the pleasure of the Lord and Lord will get more pleasure if the service is done nicely. So everything they will make sure it will be proper. You see, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing Gundicha Marjan, cleaning the temple of Gundicha, how much effort he was putting there. He was going around and then cleaning. So first he picked up all the big things which were there, the sticks and other grass and this and that. He was lying here and then he collected that first. And then he collected the dust. And then between the tiles, there's some space, right? Some narrow space and that dust will be there. He started cleaning that also. This is called as meticulously doing service. See, our constitutional position is we are servants of the Lord. Jivera Swarupoy, Krishna Nityadas. We are servants of Krishna and the job description of the servant is to meticulously serve the Lord for His pleasure, not for our pleasure. And you can see Narottam Das Thakur for Lord's pleasure, how much he is doing. He went to meet Srinivas Acharya, he comes back and then he's tense that where will the Gauranga deity come from and the day is coming very soon, just few months from now. And then he gets the Gauranga deity also. He's meticulously just watching and seeing if the Radha Krishna deities are getting ready properly. Is the temple getting ready properly? And Santosh at that time, King Santosh, he was building huge boats also. And that also was overseen by Narottam. He was saying, okay, boats. Because in that huge boats, which were decorated very nicely, the great Vaishnavas of the Gaudiya line, they were going to sit and cross the river to come this side. They were all very, very meticulous in the service. And Ramachandra Kaviraj, he was assisting Narottam Das Thakur. And while that entire service was getting executed, they built a very strong bond with each other. Therefore, in that song he writes, Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. So when all this service was happening, finally the day arrived. Such an ecstatic day that is. This side of Padma river, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya and other Ramachandra Kaviraj and all the other devotees who were there, Devi Das, Gopal Das and all of them, they were all standing. The residents of Keturi Gram, they were standing because everyone at that time was a Vaishnava. All of them, they are standing and they're waiting. Now they will come. Now they will come. It was one day before. And at that time, they could see different boats coming from different direction. And they were all ecstatic. And they were able to see that there was a huge boat. And on that, there was a very effulgent lady with other devotees on the boat. And they all said, Janavama has come. And they all from far, they paid obeisance to Janavama. From one side, Achyutananda, Advaitacharya's son, is coming. From the other side, Raghunandan Thakur is coming. And like this, all those devotees were coming. And these devotees were ecstatic, paying obeisance, jumping, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And all of them, they were moving towards the bank on this side. And when the boat came of Janavama, so at that time, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya and all the devotees, because she was a very senior devotee. In fact, the senior most devotee at that time. They all paid obeisance to Janavama, seeking her blessings. And all the other devotees, they were so happy, seeking blessings, and they were all jumping in ecstasy. Jai Vaishnav Thakur, Jai Vaishnav Thakur. And then slowly and steadily, other senior Vaishnavas also started coming. And Narottam Das Thakur, he told Janavama that we were thinking that you will not be coming. But now since you have come, the festival is going to be the grand festival for sure. Thank you very much for coming. And Janavama said, how can I miss the first Gaur Purnima festival? How can I miss? So Srinivas Acharya, Ramchandra Kaviraj, they escorted Janavama and other senior devotees. And they took them personally to different quarters which was made for them, specially for the festival, Gaur Purnima festival. And one devotee was assigned for each senior devotee in that room, that you have to take care of this devotee, you have to take care of this devotee. And like that, many senior devotees were given their places. And various other devotees who came, they were given some places to stay. And like that, every devotee was taken care very nicely. They all were welcomed with garland, sandalwood pulp, and Narsimha oil maybe. Sprinkling rose water on them. And when Janava Mata when she was walking with other devotees, they were observing that all the roads were cleaned so beautifully. On all the roads, there were beautiful rangolis which were put with rice flour. Every single path was decorated with banana stems, banana leaves. And mango leaves were hung and flowers were hung outside every door. And everything was so beautiful. The description says the place was looking like Vaikuntha. And Janava Mata, she is glorifying the entire place. Now just imagine, the organizers, how wonderful they will feel. Thank you. They were happy because Janavama was very happy. And like this, all the devotees, they were glorifying, oh, this wonderful place. They all went, to their respective rooms. They got ready. And everyone assembled in that beautiful new temple which was about to get inaugurated. This was one day before. And the thing that is told, or the term that is given for a ceremony that happens one day before is called as Adivas ceremony. See, it is so wonderful to see when these great personalities, when they are organizing festival, look at the Vaishnava etiquette they are following. Very strict when it comes to Vaishnava etiquette. Senior devotees are coming, they have to be taken care very nicely. Their rooms should be clean. They should be given a place to stay. There should be devotees assisting them. And every devotee should be taken care very nicely. Prasad should be given, garland should be given. Everything was properly arranged. In fact, it is described that in every room or every quarter that was made, every quarters. So there, in those particular places, kitchen was also there and special cooking was happening as per the diet requirement of the devotee. So I think it is in Parampara. Yes. You can imagine meticulous, ekdam meticulous. And Vaishnava etiquette, to the highest level, it was followed. See, Vaishnava etiquette is something which every devotee should follow very nicely. You know why? Because in our Baddha state, in our conditioned state, if something is going to help us to guard ourselves from aparadh, from offenses, is this particular term called Vaishnava etiquette. Therefore, every single devotee should learn Vaishnava etiquette, and these Vaishnava etiquettes are the ornaments of a devotee. Devotees will not wear gold necklace and this and that and then, The devotee's ornament says Vaishnava etiquette. Therefore it is said Vaishnava etiquette, ornament of a devotee. And here we see all these devotees were very, very beautiful because they were wearing a lot of ornaments of Vaishnava etiquette. And all these senior devotees, they all acknowledged their wonderful way of hospitality. So all these devotees, they were supposed to assemble, in that place. One by one, people started coming. And place was given to everyone, all the devotees. And when Janamama came and she sat, she was worshipped very nicely with the required paraphernalia, necessary paraphernalia. And Raghunandan, everyone remembers Raghunandan? Yes, I spoke a bit more on him because you should remember. His role is there at multiple places. So Raghunandan was that devotee who was asked to chant the Mangalacharan prayers and the other prayers of Adivas ceremony. And the prayers were chanted. All the senior devotees are sitting, Narottam, Srinivas, Shyamananda, Ramchandra Kaviraj, and Gopal Das, Devi Das, and all of them, they are there. A lot of hustle and bustle to arrange the entire festival. And here Adivas, prayers are chanted. And after that, a tumultuous kirtan started. This was day one of the festival. Tumultuous kirtan started where all the devotees, they participated in the kirtan. They were participating, invoking the auspiciousness in that place by chanting those auspicious prayers with Raghunandan Thakur. In this way, in the Adivas ceremony, the kirtan went on and on and on. Full night kirtan. This was the Adivas ceremony. Next day morning was the installation of the deities, the 6 deities. All the 6 deities were kept and a cloth was put on them. Everyone was knowing that these are the deities, but it was not uncovered. And at that time, since it was the day of installation, these 3 came together. Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya and Ramchandra Kaviraj. And they started seeing everything and they called King Santosh also. Everything is set. Is this okay? Is that okay? Is all these different things in the list ready? And they all said yes. And they went and escorted Janavama there in the assembly. She was given a place to sit, on a higher place to sit. And at that time, all the devotees, they sat. Deities with the cloth was ready. And the head pujari of that place was Srinivas Acharya. And Srinivas Acharya, he knew everything that was given in Hari Bhakti Vilas, how to install deities. And Srinivas Acharya, first he addressed all the audience that we are very, very happy to receive all of you. This is such a very important festival that is happening here, the appearance day of our Lord. And here we are going to install the 6 deities. And all the devotees, when they heard 6 deities, they were all Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. It was a huge festival, huge festival. And having spoken all this and describing what is going to happen, he unveiled the deities. He removed the cloth and everyone was seeing the beautiful form of the 5 sets of Radha and Krishna and that beautiful golden Gauranga. And he started with the Abhishek ceremony. He started doing all that rituals, all that different offerings that we do, starting with Asan, then Padya, Arghya, Achamanya, etc., etc. And then he started pouring, various different wonderful auspicious items on these deities, the Panchagavya, Panchamrita, and all the devotees, including Narottam Das Thakur, they were all just gazing at these deities. The Abhishek ceremony was nicely done, and the deities were taken, to the place for dressing. Now the dressing was nicely done by Srinivas Acharya, and there were a huge number of bhogas which were ready to be offered. We are discussing the day of Gaura Purnima, early morning ceremony this is happening. And when the bhoga was offered and the dress was offered, the dressing was done. At that time, Srinivas Acharya, he came out and he said, they are ready. And the Aarti was supposed to start now. The first Aarti after installation. And the altar was opened. And Srinivas Acharya loudly started shouting the names of the 6 deities. And he said, Shri Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Shri Radha Vallabhi Kant ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki, Shri Shri Radha Vrajamohan ki, Shri Shri Radha Raman ki, Shri Shri Radha Kant ki. And the altar was opened and all the devotees were looking at those beautiful deities which were there in the altar. And the Aarti was about to begin, and at that time, Srinivas Acharya, he told Narottam, please begin your Kirtan. And Narottam Das Thakur, Mahashay, he went to all the senior devotees, he was paying obeisance. He went to Janavama, he paid obeisance to her, seeked her blessings. He went to other devotees and he seeked the blessings. And after seeking everyone's blessing, then he came and he sat on that place which was meant for the lead Kirtaniya. And then he had his Mridanga player, Devi Das on one side. Gopal Das was there and all the other devotees were there. And Narottam Das Thakur started singing bhajans which was composed by himself. And those bhajans were sang in an extraordinary tune which devotees had not heard before. His voice was so sweet. And the Mridanga, Kartal and other things, they were also played in a certain way which Narottam Das Thakur had told and trained before itself. And Narottam Das Thakur, with all the feelings and all the love and devotion, he started glorifying Gauranga on the day of Gaura Purnima. He started glorifying. And when he started singing, it was a slow pace and it picked up. The Aarti is going on. Devotees are all hearing the bhajan, those different verses. And they're witnessing the Aarti also. And the entire Kirtan went very deep with time, deeper and deeper and deeper. See, when it comes to us, we need a word-by-word translation, etc. Then we'll understand Sanskrit verses, Bengali verses and all. For them, they knew everything, whatever he was singing. And devotees, when they were hearing the glories of Gauranga, they were going crazy. Some devotees sitting on the chair were falling down. They're fainting. Other devotees were crying here that bhajan. And Narottam Das himself, he was having tears filled in his eyes. And he was ecstatic. He was singing. And your Janavama was ecstatic. And other devotees were ecstatic. And the Kirtan was going deeper and deeper and deeper. Very deep. And lot of love and devotion that could be seen in that. And at one point, Narottam started singing those bhajans, which were signifying the separation from Lord Gauranga. And those bhajans were very intense. And he was singing. And when he was singing, the entire atmosphere was filled with Vipralamba Bhava at that time. The mood of separation. And every single devotee present there were able to experience that mood of separation from Gauranga. See, it's very, very important. It's not about just hearing anyone and everyone. Many times, newcomers, new devotees who are there, they don't understand. They feel, probably, sab bhajan hi hai. Ye bhi acha bhajan, wo bhi acha bhajan. Sometimes Bollywood ka bhajan, Tollywood ka bhajan. They might be glorifying the Lord, but the mood is important. Because finally, when we hear some Vani, at that time, we have to understand the mood of the person is also entering and modifying our mood. Therefore, the lectures also that we hear and the kirtans that we hear, we have to be very careful. Know whose kirtan, whose lecture are we hearing. If that devotee is intense, we will become intense. If that devotee is halka pulka, we are already halka pulka. We'll float. We'll float. Therefore, the devotees whom we hear, they have to be very intense and deep in their mood and bona fide. Because naturally you will experience, and you will see that. If you're sitting in the class of that devotee who is very intense, you'll be on a different platform altogether, floating. And when the class gets over, back to normal. You can see that difference. You can see that difference naturally in the consciousness and in the mood. And here, everyone in the kirtan was able to relish and feel the mood of separation that Narottam Das Thakur was feeling. Eyes filled with tears, voice getting choked, and he was feeling separation from Gauranga. And at that time, like a flash, in front of everyone, qualified, unqualified, doesn't matter. In front of everyone, Lord Gauranga personally appeared. Nityananda Prabhu appeared. Advaita Acharya appeared. Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, the 6 Goswamis, and all the other devotees, they appeared personally there. And it is described that Lord Chaitanya was standing besides the Kirtan team. And Narottam Das Thakur, he was singing. He was playing Kartal. And he looked at Gauranga. And he was thinking, is it a dream? Is it some vision that I have got? So he touched Gauranga. And actually he was physically present. And Narottam fainted for some time. And all the devotees were able to see that Gauranga has come. Nityananda has come. Advaita Acharya is there. And the kirtan was going on and Gauranga was dancing. Nityananda was dancing. Advaita was dancing. When Janava Ma saw Nityananda Prabhu, oh, my Lord is here. She was crying. When Achyutananda saw my father, Advaita is here. He was crying. And all the devotees looking at Lord Chaitanya's dance and other devotees present there, they were crying. Some devotees were fainting. They were getting up, rubbing their eyes. Am I seeing the reality or is this a dream? What is happening? And the dance started. Lord Chaitanya is dancing. Nityananda is dancing. Who can describe, their dancing? At least I cannot comprehend also what that dance will be. And here Narottam Das Thakur is the lead singer. And looking ahead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is getting choked. Sometimes he's fainting, sometimes getting up. And it is described that Lord Chaitanya, he was swirling around, spinning around the entire temple. And every single devotee was getting Sakshat Darshan of Lord Chaitanya. This is what is the glory of association of senior devotees. When they are present, when senior devotees are present, the lordships naturally manifest in that place. And we unqualified people, when we sit there, looks like something is different here. Don't know what it is, but something is different. I'm feeling something blissful. I'm feeling like doing bhakti. Something is different here. I'm sure all of you will experience this when we sit in the class of those exalted people or when we are in the association of exalted people. When we hear simple statements from them, we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, I'm spirit, soul. अभी इतने बार FOE में बोला गया, गीता कोर्स में बोला गया, तभी चमका नहीं. And sometimes devotees come and say also, Prabhuji, you know what? Then Maharaj said, we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. And the preacher is thinking, मैं भी तो यही बोलता रहता हूँ. तेरे भेजे में घुसा क्यों नहीं अभी तक? It makes a lot of difference. And here, Narottam Das Thakur's intense separation mood invoked the presence of Panchtattva. They were all dancing in ecstasy. The kirtan was going deeper and deeper. And here the dance was going intense and intense. Some devotees are rolling on the ground. Some devotees are crying. Some devotees just fainted. They get up, they faint. They get up, they faint. Because no one was able to comprehend what is happening. Many decades back, all these personalities disappeared. And again these people have manifested. What is happening? And when they were able to comprehend what is happening, at that time, Lord Chaitanya, he embraced Srinivas Acharya, and then he went to embrace Narottam Das Thakur, and like the flash, they manifested themselves. Similarly, as a flash, they disappeared. And when they disappeared from that place, all the devotees were searching, Gauranga Kothai? Where is my Gauranga? Where is my Nityananda? Janavama is searching, where is my Nitai? Achyutananda is searching, where is my Advaita? Where is my father? And all the devotees are searching, where is our Gauranga? Where is he? Narottam Das Thakur couldn't bear the separation that was there. He just fainted. His voice was choked. And all the other devotees, they're feeling pangs of separation from their lordships. How can we Baddha-jivas understand what does that mean? The ones who have not got an opportunity to see the Lord's dance personally, how can we actually feel what it is? If we don't have that laulyam to enter that kirtan like this, the intense kirtans, how will we ever enter? Therefore, this desire is very, very important to relish the higher aspects of Krishna consciousness. That intense greed, when we hear all these pastimes, we have to think about it. Will anything like this happen in my life also? Or will I just die just like that? Can you imagine this kirtan where Panchtattva are personally dancing? How many of you want to enter the dance of Panchtattva? Yes. तो वैसा हरि बोल वाला साधना भी करना पड़ेगा. Yes. और हरि बोल वाला साधना करते करते हरि बोल हो जाएगा. Anyways, what is the use of this body? What is the use of this life if we cannot go intense in our bhakti? Our life is meant for sacrificing for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Therefore, I always say that we have to burn this existence for the pleasure of the lordships. To burn it. It's okay. We have to burn it. For their pleasure. What is the use of this life if we cannot witness the beautiful forms of the lordships, They'll dance. What is the use of that? Chalo, bhale koi kone mein khade reh ke dekh rahe, that's also okay. Even if we don't get to go inside and hold Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hand and dance, that's okay. We are ready to, to stand from far and witness. Every day we sing Gauranga bhajan, Gaura Arti. Just imagine that scene. Gauranga is sitting on the asan. One side is Nitai, one side is Gadadhar. Advaita is standing nearby. Srivas Thakur is holding the chhata, the umbrella. And Brahma is doing the arti. Narahari Chakravarti and Vasudev and Govinda Ghosh and Ghosh brothers, they're all standing and they're singing. Can you imagine that entire scene? All Devi Devatas are there. Everyone is dancing very graciously. And we get an opportunity to stand dur se behind a tree and then you're watching. Yes, on the banks of the river of Ganga. We have to anchor for that someday our life will be perfect by getting Sakshat Darshan of the Lord. Therefore, it's very, very important that we understand that what we should hanker for. Why do we have all these pastimes documented? What is the need of all this? Only so that these devotees who participated in that festival, they sow the seed in our heart to participate in that festival. Such an important event. But how can we understand what were they feeling? When I was reading also, I was thinking, how will I understand what they are feeling? Narottam Das Thakur is completely mad. He is not able to understand what is happening around. And Srinivas Acharya, he came back to his senses and he went and told in the ears of Narottam, thank you very much, it's only by your mercy all this has happened. And Narottam is not understanding anything, is not hearing anything properly. All the devotees, they were coming and they were touching the feet of Narottam. Thank you very much. By your mercy, we got this darshan and experience. Can you imagine qualified, unqualified? Everyone who was present, they got darshan of the Lord. And at that time, Janavama, she came. She came there, and at that time, since the senior devotee has come, you cannot be ecstatic, crying and weeping. And he got up, somehow regained his senses. He came back to his senses and he heard Janavama speaking. And Janava Mata, the senior devotee in the entire assembly, she thanked Narottam Das Thakur that this is all because of you. It's all because of your mercy, your arrangement, that we got to experience something like this which was divine and sublime, which we can never forget. And all the devotees started discussing. Tune bhi dekha? Tune bhi dekha? Yeah. What did you see? And they all started discussing. Gauranga was looking like this. Nitai was looking like this. Advaita was jumping like this. They're all discussing. At that time, Janavama, she called Srinivas Acharya and she said, this is the right time to start Holi. And Srinivas Acharya, he got drums and drums of a lot of colors mixed with fragrant oil or something like that. And the color powder, those over there, those are not like the dirty which we get now. Those are fragrant. And all those colors were kept in front of the deities in the altar. And they're all waiting for Janava Mata to come there. And Janava Mata, with her own hands, she took the color powders from each container and she smeared on the deities. All the 6 deities. And then the colors were given out as prasad to all the devotees. And the devotees started throwing colors on each other. A tumultuous kirtan was going on, jumping and dancing. And many devotees went outside the temple also, outside the temple premises, jumping on the road, dancing on the road, throwing colors here, there, everywhere. It was colorful. And the kirtan went on and on and on and on. And it was the evening time, the tithi for celebrating Gaura Purnima. And somehow devotees were bought. Arey, aajao jaldi festival chalu ho raha hai. And all the devotees were got there. All the devotees assembled. Janavama is again, she's sitting there on the high platform that was given to her. All the devotees are sitting. And Gauranga's deity was got out. And Srinivas Acharya, the head pujari, he started doing the various upcharas for the Gauranga deity. The first ever Gaur Purnima Abhishek began. And they all started singing the beautiful Abhishekam prayers. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. We'll not sing all the verses. It'll take time. So they all started singing various Abhishekam prayers. And when the prayers were done, tumultuous kirtan began. And all the devotees, they were witnessing the first Abhishek that was happening on the day of Gaur Purnima. And the entire thing was so divine and so ecstatic that every single devotee was experiencing something different, something divine out of the world. And the tumultuous kirtan is going on and devotees were roaring in the kirtan. Not like our kirtans. As some dead people are asked to stand and do some dance and something. Sometimes looking down. Sometimes people sleep also standing. Yes. Especially Mangal Arati when we sit down and chant Cheto. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Jai. That is what is our situation. I'm not talking about our situation. I'm talking about these roaring kirtan. Everyone was roaring there. And this kirtan went full night. Previous night also, I think they did kirtan. This night also, they were doing kirtan. And there were a lot of simultaneous things which were happening. There was some traditional dance which was going on. At some places, discourses were going on. At some places, some other singing was going on. So various different things were happening all around. And devotees going and participating at various places. Full night chal raha hai pura kirtan. The entire festival was going full night. I didn't read anywhere that there was prasad serving that was happening. I didn't read anywhere. I was wondering, I was searching also in the pages. Is prasad serving? There was no prasad serving. All were just ecstatic kirtan, immersed in kirtan. This is what is nourishment of a devotee, See, always remember one thing, that a devotee's bhakti lata creeper should be nourished. And we should do anything and everything possible to nourish that creeper. If some devotees like kirtan, yes, they should sing kirtan. If some devotees, maybe Hare Krishna kirtan. If some devotees like Vaishnava bhajans, yes, they should sit and sing. If some devotees, like to broom the floor, clean the floor, they should keep doing that. Some devotees like to do deity worship, they should keep doing that. We should find that what nourishes us in Krishna consciousness. I know some devotees, they get nourished by washing vessels. Full day also you put them, they'll keep washing. Some devotees like cooking. They just want to cook. Some devotees just want to read and do nothing in life apart from that. And some devotees just want to chant. There are people like that. So we also should ask the question, what actually nourishes me in Krishna consciousness, which I can just go on doing maybe full night like this on the day of Gaur Purnima. So we should know that. And it's a very, very important thing to know, because this is what will save us when there will be a time when we will fall from our current position of devotional service. When we will be in a critical situation, that will help. If we don't know our fallback option, then it's a very difficult thing to tackle with various situations. Therefore, everyone should know, every devotee should find out, what is my fallback option in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, I don't know if you have noticed, I keep asking some devotees, I don't know if I've asked you, that what do you like in Krishna consciousness? And when devotees say everything, then I say, isko time lagega samajhne mein. Abhi tak samjha nahi hai. There should be something. Maybe one or two, or maybe few, but not everything is not possible. We are not Paramahamsas to relish everything in Krishna consciousness. Yes. So in this way here, devotees full night. So some devotees, they realized color is there on the body. सोचिए वो पूरे कलर के साथ गौर पूर्णिमा फेस्टिवल अटेंड किए थे वो लोग. Some devotees realized, oh, I think we should go and take bath in Padma river. Early in the morning they went. Some devotees went to take bath. Some devotees were so ecstatic they directly came to Mangala Arati in the same Veshbhusha. Later they went to take bath. So like this, all the devotees assembled for Mangala Arati in the morning. And the altar was open. Again the beautiful darshan of the 6 deities. And the Arati was going on and devotees were relishing the Arati. And after the Arati, Janamama personally, with a band of cooks, there were a lot of different burners which were kept. Chula, not the gas burners. Chulas were kept. And she personally started cooking. And then personally started cooking for all the devotees. And all the other bad cooks who were there, they were all assisting. And a lot of items were made. And all those items were offered in the afternoon. Raj Bhog was offered. Again I was searching, did breakfast prasad serve hua ki nahi? Mila nahi mujhe. So that prasad was served. I mean, that bhoga was offered. And all the devotees were asked, please come And no one was coming. Everyone was doing kirtan. Srinivas Acharya, he went, he stopped the kirtan. He said, you all come and sit. And when the kirtan stopped, then the devotees sat, banana leaves were put, and the prasadam serving began. Janava Amma was personally, she was directing the prasadam serving. And it was told that keep serving prasad till the point the devotee is so full that he's not able to put even one morsel in his mouth. And like that, prasadam serving was going on, and all the devotees, they had prasad and they were having prasad. Suddenly the devotees were loudly shouting, Hari, 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 Hari. Devotees were so happy. Looks like there was some gulab jamun also there. And when all this was happening, when maximum devotees were served, there were thousands of devotees, and all of them they were served. Narottam, Srinivas, they didn't have prasad. Janavama is not having prasad. So Narottam and Srinivas, they went to Janavama and they said, Maya, you should have prasad. Please come. Please come and have prasad. And at that time, Janavama, she forced both of them that you sit and I want to serve. This is the mode of devotees. Devotees sacrifice for others. Yes. And for us, we make devotees sacrifice for us. Therefore, in our when we have prasadam also, sometimes I notice when it is said 2 vadas, and the 5 vadas are there in the plate. And sometimes you ask, probably that devotee does not eat. And like that, 3-4 devotees will point to that devotee that he does not eat. और कभी कभी तो मेरा नाम लेके खा लेते हैं लोग. Anyways, Prabhuji doesn't eat all this. Actually, see, one of the very important thing in Krishna consciousness is we have to be very sensitive, understanding that how we have to sacrifice for others, not that we make others sacrifice for our sense gratification, right? And here, look at this. Both of them, they're telling that, Maya, you should have, and she's saying, no, you should eat. And finally, she is senior devotee. So she forced them, you sit, I'll serve. They sat, and their few disciples sat. And Janavama, personally being such a great senior devotee, she, with motherly affection, she was serving all of them. And she made sure that they will eat till the brim. And after serving, then after everyone finished their prasad, then Janavama sat and she had prasad. Oh my God. Very difficult to comprehend. And all the devotees, they had prasad very nicely. And after having prasad, again the festival began. Again kirtan and everything, and full night again it went on. This was the 3-day festival of Keturi Gram, the first Gaura Purnima festival of the millennium. And finally the time came when they had to bid the farewell. Narottam, Srinivas, Ramchandra, they were all not able to understand. All these devotees will go away. And yes, everyone was going away. And King Santosh, he had got clothes, gold coins, water pots, and he was giving it to all devotees. There were boats ready, there were palanquins ready, there were carts ready. Devotees started going. Some devotees were not able to leave the place. They decided we'll stay for some more days here. But finally, they also had to leave. And finally, Srinivas Acharya, he said, I'll stay back for some more time. But his time also came because he was a Grihastha, so he had to leave. So he also left. But he told that maybe Ramchandra Kaviraj can stay with you. And Narottam and Ramchandra Kaviraj, they stayed back. They're very happy. And everyone else left that place. This is that Gaura Purnima festival. Can you imagine how fortunate we are that every year we get to celebrate this Gaura Purnima festival? After the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya, for many decades there was no Gaura Purnima. And look at our great fortune. Such great fortune that everything will be set. Only thing is you have to go and sit and watch the Aarti or Abhishekam or whatever. In that also you'll say, the office mein late ho jayega. So, is saal miss kar dete Gaura Purnima, next year. If I say that, we have only next 30 years to live on this planet. फिर से इधर ही आएंगे, भक्ति तो अभी की नहीं ठीक से. But say, we have last 30 years in this body. How many Gaura Purnimas we have? बस 30. उसमें से एक मिस किया तो बस 29 बचेगा. ऐसे मिस करते करते गए तो सब मिस हो जाएगा. Therefore, it's very, very important to attend the festival. And you never know that the flash that happened and Panchtattva manifested, maybe possible. Yes, maybe possible. If not that, at least on that day we can express our gratitude to Gauranga that by your mercy, today I can think of going back home, back to Gaura this life. If at all any of us go back home this very life, remember it's only by the mercy of Gauranga, or else there's no hope. There's no hope. Therefore, Gaur Purnima is that day when we can express our gratitude to Gauranga and express gratitude to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who took this most munificent incarnation everywhere in the entire world. And can you imagine, on that day of Gaur Purnima, only in Kheturi Gram the festival was getting celebrated. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, throughout the whole world the festival is getting celebrated. This is our Acharya. So let's participate in this festival with great pomp, with great enthusiasm. Let's do our services very meticulously, following the Vaishnava etiquettes properly, and having the intense hankering that before leaving this body or in this very life, I want to witness that Kirtan. Thank you very much. Kheturi Gram Festival ki, Gaur Purnima Mahotsav ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.